It's summertime in Arizona, and that means hot temperatures. But once again, the state is experiencing record high temperatures, making it that much more difficult to keep cool. Joining us now is ASU climatologist Randy Cerveny. Randy, good to have you here. We always bring you here and just complain and throw things at you because there's always. What went on last month? Holy smokes! It seemed like it never cooled off.
It really didn't. And what was sad is that it was not only the high temperatures that were hot. We were up, the normal temperatures in June are about 104, 105 degrees. We averaged last month 109 degrees for our high temperatures. Just an incredibly hot day. But what's bad is it was the nighttime that was even worse.
Yes. I think we have a graphic here to show just how many things happened out there. And this is basically the daily average, 97 degrees. Randy, that's that's head and shoulders above the next in line.
Exactly. This is unprecedented, basically. We've been monitoring temperatures here in the Phoenix metropolitan area for over 100 years, and to see these kind of temperatures is just really alarming, frankly.
And again, the lows getting warmer, as you mentioned, that plays a really big factor. Why are they doing that?
Two reasons. One is the urban heat island effect, that asphalt, concrete, tarmac holds heat much better than grass. So during the day, it absorbs all the heat, and then at night, it starts to release it. But carbon dioxide also holds on to heat very nicely. So during the day, all that heat gets trapped by the big CO2 dome that we have over the world now, basically, but particularly over Arizona and Phoenix, and it holds on to the heat.
And the urban heat island effect, once you pave over the desert, it's pretty difficult to redo that. You're kind of stuck, aren't you? We're here for the long term.
Yeah, although ASU has been pretty instrumental in trying to figure out ways to mitigate it. We've looked at, for example, painting roadways white as opposed to black. They've worked at maybe changing rooftops to different colors to better reflect it. So there's a pretty concerted effort at ASU to try to mitigate these problems.
I was going to say, how much do those things help, though? How much?
Well, that's the problem. We haven't been able to apply them on a large basis. Computer models suggest that they might have a fairly good impact on temperatures.
How much of an impact did the fact it seemed like it got humid awfully quickly and awfully early this year? It seems like when it's humid, those nighttime temperatures don't drop as much, do they? Am I getting that right?
You are absolutely correct. And we have Tropical Storm Alberto to blame for the early start to the monsoon. Alberto was a tropical storm that was out in the Gulf of Mexico and caused some problems over in Mexico, but then it traveled all the way across Mexico, lost being a tropical storm, and just a big puddle of moisture. And that moisture was puddled up and pushed up into Arizona.
Well, and we have a graphic here regarding the monsoon forecast for the country, but we're going to look at the Southwest here. And I'm telling you here, I don't know. I'm not an expert like you. I know I'm no PhD in meteorology, but it looks to me like it's going to get wetter as the summer goes on.
We like seeing that kind of green thumb that's over in the left-hand side of the map there.
Yes.
That nice little surge of moisture. That is classic monsoon. And so if we can get through this week, which is going to have really hot temperatures by the 4th of July here, but if we can get through this week, the prognosis is that we're going to have the start of the monsoon. Good thunderstorms.
So 6 to 10 days, it says normal, especially for us here in central Arizona. But 8 to 14, that's looking pretty good. And Randy, at the bottom down there, that really looks good.
So the whole month of July is looking like we're going to continue to get more moisture. So unfortunately, those low temperatures aren't going to change a whole lot. But we're going to have afternoon thunderstorms, even not on the rim, but coming down into the valley.
Impact, El Nino, La Nina, anything going on out there?
Well, the biggest impact, we're moving into La Nina. And the biggest impact, unfortunately, for the United States with regards to La Nina in the summertime is more Atlantic hurricanes. Right now, we've got a Class 5 hurricane out in the Atlantic Ocean, Beryl.
Yes.
And that's going to cause a huge amount of problems to the people in Mexico. But again, that moisture is going to travel all the way across Mexico. And next week, that's going to charge up our monsoon.
So Alberto 2.0?
Alberto may be on steroids because it's going to be much, much more intense. It's a bigger storm, has a whole lot more water with it.
And that means that monsoon number, I mean, it's, we always talk about, every time you come on, you always tell me you can't really forecast the monsoon very well. These guys over here with these maps, they seem to be saying something here. I mean, something could be going on.
Right. The problem with monsoon, remember, is it's localized thunderstorms.
Yes.
So unfortunately, like we had last week, we're going to have storms where it might hit one part of the valley and the other part of the valley is going to be dry. So your neighbors might say, oh, we got a great storm last night. And you'll say, well, where was it? It wasn't over my place.
Yeah.
The monsoon is spotty. It's localized.
But also, as a state, as you said on this program many times, higher the elevation, better the chance for rain.
Absolutely. Cave Creek always gets more rain during the monsoon than places like Sky Harbor Airport. Sky Harbor Airport's in the lowest part of the valley.
Yeah, Southwest Valley, kind of same sort of thing, right?
Right.
All right, Randy, I mean, we're really getting close to this. Have we ever had 100 degrees for a low? Isn't like 97 the highest low we've ever had?
And we hit that again we got close to that just a few days ago. Yeah, I've said on the record here that we will probably have a minimum low temperature of 100 degrees before we hit a new record high of over 122. Our highest temperature ever here in Phoenix is 122. I think we will have a 100-degree low temperature before we have 122.
It seems as though the last few years, it used to be 118, 119. You get sometimes a 120 here, they're popping up here, but usually 17, 18. We don't seem like we're getting as much of that, but boy, those nighttime lows are a drag.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason is that that moisture holds heat in. So it absorbs the heat so we don't get up to that 122 degrees. So when we get that surge of moisture like we had this week and last week, it kept the higher temperatures from getting up into record high temperature range.
And last question here, you mentioned La Nina. That means kind of a dry winter, doesn't it?
It does. If it holds, and then the forecast is for a La Nina continuing to develop over the summer and into the winter, yeah, unfortunately means a dry winter for us.
Do they ever flip-flop?
Not, they have, but probably by this time it would be really unusual to see a flip-flop take place.
Randy Cerveny, ASU climatologist. Randy, always a pleasure. Good to have you here. Thanks.
My pleasure.